everybody? Welcome back to Geek-Stew. And today, guys, welcome back to another episode of Conspiracy Theories with Ike. That is right. So, today, folks, we are back with our conspiracy theory videos. I know you guys have missed them. I know that I did a couple weeks without conspiracy theories, so I do apologize if any of the viewers expecting conspiracy theory videos didn't get their conspiracy theory fix or whatever the case may be. Mostly, it was just an issue of... Honestly, I just had other stuff that came up that I wanted to talk about. The horror movie hot takes, and then the Candyman review. I enjoyed doing both of those because I haven't done anything horror related in a little while because I've been so focused on the conspiracy theories. So I wanted to take a small break to do that. But for your guys' patience, it will be rewarded. We are doing a conspiracy theory double feature today with two sort of shorter conspiracy theories. These don't have a whole lot of meat to them. They're pretty simple and just kind of straightforward. So that is what it is. If you watch my YouTube short from yesterday, you know that I got a haircut and a shave. Just is what it is. I've been trying to get a haircut for a long while, and it's honestly something that, I did yesterday because I was like, man, I really need to get a haircut. Part of the reason why you didn't have a video today, I'm filming this on Wednesday, but you're here on Friday, so you have a video today, but you didn't have a video on Wednesday, which is sad enough as it is. But so we're going to talk about a conspiracy theories. We have two today to talk about. One is more of about sort of a, honestly, it's weird that how this one started, but the other one is just sort of really random. And honestly, again, both of these don't have a whole lot of meat and bones to them. So we're just going to kind of jump right into it. But the first theory that we're going to talk about today has to do with the real purpose of the lottery. Sorry, I almost forgot, guys. Before we get into the theory, go ahead, and I was started to film this, and I completely forgot. I filmed this right after the intro. I was like, damn, I should probably remind them, stick around until the end of the video. That's right. So this is just a little addition that I filmed for it because I had to adjust my camera position. But stick around to the end of the video. We're going to talk about some projects that are coming up in the future. So yeah, stick around. You won't regret it. Now I'm going to film the part about the theory. So that's what you're going to see next. Into this because I forgot to do it in the intro. Big thanks to Cicada 1205 for the amazing iceberg. I'm going to put it up every time, but thank you so much for that. Amazing iceberg, lots of stuff to talk about, and they in fact even went into a lot of detail in the Reddit thread itself, which is greatly appreciated because some of this stuff is really, really specific and doesn't have a whole lot of details. So having that additional help from Cicada 1205 and all the other Redditors on the thread is greatly appreciated. So it is time. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into this. First theory, of course, what is the real purpose of the lottery? Now, you might be saying to yourself, what do you mean, what's the real purpose of the lottery? I pay for money for my tickets, and basically I get a chance at winning some money because, God knows whether or not, how likely it is that I'll get it. But what if I told you that the likelihood of you winning the lottery is so low, not because they don't want to give away that money, but because they're trying to catch someone. So if you think about it, every form of media that's ever talked about time travel, and, you might be thinking, what the hell does time travel have to do with this? We'll get to that in a second. But anytime you watch a movie or a cartoon about time travel, they always talk about going back in time and buying stock in Google or Apple or buying Bitcoin. But they also a lot of times talk about what if they went back in time, got the winning lottery numbers, and then won the lottery. So you're probably thinking to yourself, or went ahead in time, I should say, not back in time. But went ahead in time or back in time, got the winning lottery numbers, then went back in time with said lottery numbers, or vice versa, however time travel works, and they basically won the lottery doing that. So you're thinking to yourself, then what does the lottery have to do with this? Why does time travel even make any sense? So the government made the lottery to catch potential time travelers. That's the real purpose of the lottery. Proof? Have you ever met someone who's won the lottery? Ever talked to someone on the street who's like, yeah, I won $50 million from the lottery the other day? Ever seen any of them on TV reoccurringly instead of just like one shot? Did you know that you can be anonymous when you win the lottery? You don't even have to tell people who you are. You can just say, here's my ticket, and then go from there. So there's a lot of strange things to the lottery. We don't really know who wins the lottery unless they choose to give their identity. And even then, sometimes they don't actually go to the press. They don't go and buy extravagant things, or at least we don't know that they do. But if you and I won the lottery, wouldn't you think that we'd go buy some $1 million house just randomly in cash, or, you know, pay off all our debt, or do something crazy for somebody else, or hell, even just do something crazy for ourselves, go rent out a restaurant, or go buy some really expensive art, or do something crazy? Because you and I both know that if we won the lottery, us normal people, we would probably do something pretty crazy with that money, because why not? So the theory started actually as a writing prompt on Twitter, or on Reddit, my apologies. And it eventually spread to different facets and different areas. Twitter was one of them. Reddit was the big one, obviously, that upheld this. But someone basically kind of coined the theory, saying that if our government was trying to stop time travelers, the best way to do it would be to create a system that would incentivize future time travelers to use their powers for money. Because obviously you can't really, I mean, you could potentially track stocks and things like that, but I mean, realistically, is there really much to it other than, I mean, let's go back and buy some stocks and then make a shit ton of money? But beyond that, it's also a question of, more realistically, if we were to do the lottery scenario, I mean, that's more realistic. I mean, ultimately it is. If you really think about it really long and hard, you're thinking to yourself, I mean, why would they just do the stocks? You know, just win some quick money. Now, of course, this is, of course, a very forward and may discern their identity a little easier, but at the same time, like, you and I are never going to know whether someone's an actual time traveler, but the government might. So that's kind of the theory behind this. There's really not a whole lot else to support this other than some juxtaposition that says that we don't really know any lottery winners. You and I don't see regular lottery winners on the Facebook or on YouTube or anything like that. They're just people out there who win the lottery, and we really don't know anything about them, don't know anything about what they're doing. Granted, they may try and stay out of the limelight for that purpose, because I know a lot of the time when you win money, people come after you. But anyhow, just a very interesting thought process to kind of think about and try and work with. Obviously, do I think this is real? Not necessarily, but it would be interesting to think that our government knows of time travelers and created the lottery in an attempt to catch them. That is interesting, for sure. So the second theory here that we're kind of working with is called webcambart.jpg. So webcambart.jpg is a unsettling image that's sort of pixelated and somewhat realistic, and it's sort of weird. It's sort of like a weird, realistic, almost like what's the guy, Picasso-esque photo in a way that is of Bart Simpson. The theory behind this photo, and I will put it up right here. It's really weird looking, honestly. It's very creepy. I can just already tell that while I'm editing this is just bothering me. But basically, you know, you're just saying to yourself, like, what's the big deal? So the story goes that this image just randomly appeared on Matt Groening's PC. And when it appeared on his PC, it inspired him to create The Simpsons. So I guess sort of the theory in this case is, like, where did it come from? Why did it just appear there? And, you know, like, how did he just decide to create The Simpsons off of this image? So that's the theory. The theory is that this image popped up, gave Matt Groening the inspiration to create The Simpsons, but it just randomly appeared one day. It was on his computer, and he's just like, okay, why is it here? Now, obviously, Matt Groening has never, ever, at any point in time, confirmed this at all. Like, this is a very just sort of, I don't want to say a random theory, but it is very much a theory with very little input as to whether or not it's real. In addition to that, supposedly the photo was wiped off the web. Some think that the image that I showed you is not actually the original, but maybe a recreation or like some form of an edit to sort of give that creepy vibe. Now, who's to say, realistically? I mean, I don't know. This probably isn't the real image, or the real image probably doesn't exist. Someone probably just pulled up Microsoft Paint and started doodling with this and, you know, made themselves a nice little spooky creepypasta, and then they made it into a conspiracy theory. Honestly, that's a lot of what happens, if you ask me. A lot of times with these conspiracy theories, they're just small little isolated incidents or small little creepypastas or urban legends that sort of evolve into conspiracy theories. In fact, both of these have very little bearing in real life. The lottery winner one, it has very little proof to prove its existence. Now, obviously, in theory, if we did have time travelers, then yeah, sure, the lottery could potentially be an interesting way to prove that they exist, right? Because who is going to guess those numbers in that sequence that well? I mean, the odds of winning the lottery are astronomical, and I mean legitimately astronomical. It's like millions to one, I think. And you have to think to yourself, like, how is it possible that someone randomly guessed these numbers? Which I guess is true. It's very unlikely, and I guess if somebody were to guess those numbers, it could potentially open up some questions about that person, because how the hell did they guess that? So I understand how that could be a possible conspiracy theory, that someone could, formulate that, wow, there might be something a little ulterior to this, or maybe a little something darker to this. The Webcam Bart JPEG obviously is in a different line of its own, where you really have nothing to kind of work with the Webcam Bart JPEG or whatever. It's just a picture. It's a weird picture of Bart Simpson. And supposedly Matt Groening found on his PC and then got the inspiration to make The Simpsons. So not a whole lot of proof there, but it's still an interesting theory, because what if it did happen, right? That's the big thing. The big thing about all of these conspiracies is the big what if. About it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know this was a little bit different. I did 2 conspiracy theories today just because I wanted to kind of throw a couple at you. Not to mention, these conspiracy theories aren't super detailed or have a whole lot of digging that needs to be done. Normally when I do conspiracy theories, the theories have a lot of details that I like to kind of jump and dig into. But this one, both of these specifically, have very little digging to be done, because it's very clear why for instance, to start with, the lottery system, we know why it was created. There's a whole lot of stuff that talks about, like, oh, why was it really created? There's other conspiracy theories about the lottery system. None of them have anything to do with time travelers, unfortunately. Just this one. So it's like, on one hand, a lot of theories that are out there sort of follow different themes, but obviously this one is sort of, in addition to all that, it's a little extra, if you will. And then, of course, the Webcam Bart JPEG. It's just an urban legend, kind of creepypasta. There's obviously no proof that this is real, or that Matt Groening did in fact have this. In fact, I sort of liken the Webcam Bart JPEG to like the Smile Dog JPEG or whatever it's called. It looks like this. Or any of those other cursed images that we got. I remember when I was like in middle school, we always got those creepy little text messages on our flip phones where you'd open it and it'd be like, share with 7 of your friends, or this girl's gonna kill you in your sleep, and that's Jesus Christ. I didn't realize how fucked up that was, that as kids, like in middle school and high school, we were sending shit like this to people, because I mean, realistically, a lot of people believe in urban legends and supernatural and curses and things like that. So like, it seems really odd that we were doing this in like middle school, right? Super strange. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff like that are roaming around the internet. The Smile Dog JPEG is just one of a bunch, and I don't know. It's sort of one of those things where I'm just like, what the fuck, So Webcam Bart JPEG, obviously not a whole lot to work with, other than somebody found that picture or made that picture and then created a cool story about it, and then it kind of spread to the internet. And yeah, it is what it is. There's all kinds of stuff like that, so I don't really think it's real per se. The lottery one, it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, that would be really cool if it was true, but obviously I don't think, even if it was true, the government's not going to tell us that there are time travelers or that time travel exists. God forbid that we know that. They won't even tell us that aliens exist, even though we're like 99% sure that they do, but like, they haven't officially said, yeah, you guys are right, there are such thing as aliens. But anyhow, I'm going to kind of close this off. Hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and like and subscribe and follow us on social media, all that good stuff. I mean, really, there's nothing else to go over. So yeah, it's going to be it for today, guys. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. What the fuck is that? Hello? I'm pretty sure I'm here by myself. 1 second.